Hello everyone, welcome back. Alright, we're finally at the point where we're going to clean the body of this machine. And the first thing I'm going to do is I have this duster, which shoots a very, very strong stream of air, and I'm going to blow it off. Alright, so I got a lot of dust all over it. We're going to blow all that off underneath, everywhere we can. We're going to just blow it off, and I'll bring you back. All right, so we got it all blown off. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to clean any exposed metal parts that I see. And I'm just going to do that with some of these applicator tips. Just clean it off very carefully and get all of those parts as clean as I can. And then underneath here, any exposed metal. Alright, I'm not going to bore you watching me, with the applicator tip cleaning things like that. So I'm just going to use some oil first, because we know that the oil is not going to damage any finish if I get it on there. So we may use some penetrating oil, we may use some machine oil, back and forth until I get that cleaned up, and I'll bring it back. So I whipped out the rotary tool with a little wire brush on it, very carefully wire brushed in there, came out very nice. And the front nose area looking very nice, and the bottom still got a lot of dust we got to clean off. So looks like this was in a room when it was being painted. Not sure if you could see that. We got all paint speckles on it, and we have some tape residue. So what I heard, I've been watching YouTube, there's been a bunch of stuff. They said put some sewing machine oil on this, on the tape residue. So we're going to let that sit for a little bit. We're going to see how that works. Let me spread it in. Alright, we'll let that sit for a few minutes, and I'll bring you back. Let's see if that did anything. Yeah, look at that. It's taking it off. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, I'll do that. And I've also got a little bit of oil on these paint spots. And what I'm going to do with these paint spots is just take a piece of a credit card up here. And just, oh look, they're coming off just with my fingernail. So basically, yeah, credit card, plastic card. I'm just going to hit these and see if I can pop them all off. I'll bring you back. All right, that was tedious. Hopefully you could see that. I got about, I don't know, I want to say 99% of that off, and I'm kind of good with that. I ended up using, believe it or not, my fingernails. I don't have huge fingernails, but they're just long enough that I was able to scrape it. And what I did was I wore my magnifying glasses so I could make sure I wasn't hitting the stencil. So it looks like there's a decent coat of clear coat on there, and I was able to get it pretty smooth. Now, those little paint dots, I got the majority of those off. There's a little bit residue behind them, which when I get to this part, the Zymol, the cleaner wax formula, hopefully that'll come out. And there's a ton of chips all over, especially on this side, right here, which, where are we? You see all these chips? What I'm going to do is after I do this initial cleaning and waxing, I'll go back, clean out these little spots, and I'll touch them up with some paint, and you'll never notice it. But I mean, just that little bit of cleaning already, it looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to get at the Zymol, and I'll bring you back. Okay, if I said that that was easy, I'd be lying, okay? There is so much whatever the heck on there. It's a bear. I mean, look at this. So I did, I don't know, 3 or 4 passes with Zymol on this area right here, and it just kept coming off, coming off, coming off, coming off, and I was like, oh God, I'm gonna be here for days. So I remember watching a video and somebody was using Gojo hand cleaner without pumice in it. You make sure it doesn't have pumice in it. So I didn't have any Gojo, but I had this Purple Power stuff that I picked up at Walmart. It was like $3, and I use it to clean my hands, and I know there's no gritty stuff in it, and I said, all right, I'm gonna check behind where the motor goes and see how it works. And I was amazed. So let me show you this. We'll do a spot and turn this over right here. Okay, so all I did is take a little bit, rub it on there, and as I was rubbing it, I was seeing it turn brown. I don't know if you could see that. You see it turning brown? Then I take one of these little pieces of shop towel and just rub it off. I mean, look at this. I mean, you could hear it almost squeaky clean. Now, what I'll do is, let me get another piece of shop towel. Just as a test, we'll do one more pass with a little bit on the shop towel and see if any more comes off. Very, very little. So now with a minimal amount of product, see the areas I hit around here that I didn't hit before? So the Zymol is pretty expensive. It's close to $20. This Purple Power, like $3. So what I'm going to do is clean the whole thing until I do not get any nasty residue on the shop towel. Then I'll come back with the Zymol to give it the final like waxing. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It's going to take a while, but I tell you what, I am pleased with how it's coming out. Well, that's the front. I'm sorry. I'm looking at it. The front wasn't bad at all, but now this has no Zymol on it. That was just, and I really need some camera skills. I need a camera person. Anybody want to be my camera person? I'll feed you. All right. So this is just this Purple Power stuff. There's no Zymol on there yet. And look at it shine already. I'm extremely pleased with that. Now there's a lot of scratches and stuff on, I guess this might be called the bed. There's a lot of scratches and stuff on there, but you know, it's almost 100 years old. I would expect that. But yeah, we'll do the Zymol on here again. I don't know if you could see it, but where the adhesive was, there's definitely some discoloration, maybe a little crackling. I have this stuff, paint clarifying compound. I got crappy shadows here. I had used that. I used that on my lantern founts, and it's amazing stuff. So I may try to just do a little area and see what it looks like. Again, this is not going to be a museum piece. I just want it cleaned up so it looks presentable, which, I'll be honest with you, it already does with the little tiny bit of cleaning I did. So, yeah, let me get at it and I'll bring you back. All right. So that was a tremendous amount of work. Not even a lot of work, a tremendous amount of work. That purple power was a lifesaver. I mean, it took off so much grime. I got some of my fingerprints on it, but you get the gist of it. And then the Mysol was Zymol. That was the finishing touch. I'm very, very happy with it. I decided that all the little nicks and scratches, this I figured the person who was using this probably had rings on their fingers. You would think probably a wedding ring, as they were taking the thread and they kept hitting this, hitting this, hitting this. I mean, those are the scars that this has as being almost 100 years old. And all the little nicks and whatnot, it's done as far as cosmetic goes. Again, I'm very, very pleased with it. I even did the bottom. I really didn't go crazy on the bottom, but it looks pretty good. So, yeah, that's going to be the end for this video. Cleaning of the body. And again, I'm very, very pleased with it. One more spin on the wall. I got to invent a machine like a car wash for sewing machines. Put it in one end and come out the other end. Yeah, it's looking good. So the next video, I have to think about how much of me putting this back together I'm going to show you. Because I know I'm going to literally have to watch my videos when I took it apart to put it back together. I don't know how useful that'll be, but I'll have to think about that when I get to it. But for right now, we're done with this one. You know I'm going to say it. I'm sending you all much, much love and appreciation, my brothers and sisters. I'm thanking you for coming along. I know there's been a lot of videos on this puppy. And we'll be starting at 1591 once this thing is sewing. So there you have it. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And we'll see you on the next one.